Have you ever wondered about the laws of war and how they apply to the Israel-Palestinian conflict? It's a question that carries the weight of countless lives lost and a history steeped in complexity and controversy. The conflict between Israel and Palestinian forces has yielded a high death toll on both sides, a grim testament to the harsh reality of war. Yet, even in war, there are rules. Born from the ashes of World War II, the international system of justice established a set of regulations known as the Law of Armed Conflict, or International Humanitarian Law. These are not mere suggestions, but binding rules that apply to all players on the battlefield, from government forces to organized armed groups. Yes, that includes Hamas militants. These laws are the thin line that separates order from chaos, humanity from savagery. They are our collective attempt to inject some semblance of fairness into the unforgiving theater of war. But what happens if alleged perpetrators of crimes are not brought to justice domestically? That, my friends, is where our story takes a twist. This is where the International Criminal Court, or ICC, comes in. The ICC is a court of last resort, stepping in when national justice systems are unable or unwilling to prosecute. It holds jurisdiction over war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide in its member states. However, it's important to note that not all countries are members. Major powers like China, the United States, Russia, India, and Egypt, for example, are not part of the ICC. Let's turn our attention to the ongoing situation in the occupied Palestinian territories. The ICC has been investigating allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity committed there since 2021. This is a significant step, as it signals the international community's commitment to holding perpetrators accountable, regardless of their nationality or political affiliation. But it's not a straightforward process. The ICC's investigations are lengthy and complex, often taking many years to complete, and even then its reach is limited. The court relies on the cooperation of states to arrest and surrender suspects, which is not always forthcoming. However, no arrest warrants have been issued yet by the ICC. So, what are some of the potential war crimes that have been committed? As we delve deeper into this complex issue, we need to understand the allegations that have been made. Human Rights Watch, a highly respected international organization, has cited several possible war crimes committed by both Israeli troops and Hamas militants. At the heart of these allegations is the deliberate targeting of civilians. This is a grave violation of the Law of Armed Conflict, or International Humanitarian Law. The law is clear: civilians are off limits. Yet both parties are accused of ignoring this fundamental rule, leading to a high death toll on both sides. Another alleged war crime is the indiscriminate rocket attacks. These attacks are launched without clear military targets, leaving civilians in danger. This reckless conduct, if proven, is a clear violation of the principles of distinction and proportionality under international law. But the list doesn't end there. The Geneva Conventions, the cornerstone of modern war laws, explicitly ban certain actions such as the taking of hostages, murder, and torture. These are considered grave breaches and are universally condemned. Yet some of the conflict's most gruesome incidents have involved these very crimes. The situation is further complicated by the fact that these alleged crimes are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of behavior. They are deeply rooted in the tactics and strategies used by both sides in this long and bloody conflict. But it's not just about the actions on the battlefield, it's also about the responses. As we'll see in the next segment, the reactions to these alleged crimes can also be subject to scrutiny under the laws of war. Israel's responses to the conflict may also be subject to a war crimes investigation. In the midst of this turmoil, the actions of Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant have come under scrutiny. His announcement of a tightened blockade has drawn criticism from United Nations officials and human rights groups alike. Let's delve deeper into this. A siege, such as the one announced by Gallant, can be considered a war crime if it targets civilians or is found to be disproportionate. This essentially means that the action taken is excessive or unnecessary in relation to the military advantage to be gained. It's important to note that international law mandates that attacks on military objectives must be proportional. This principle of proportionality seeks to prevent actions that could cause excessive harm to civilians or civilian property in comparison to the military advantage anticipated. Now, it's not just about the actions of one side. The situation is a complex web of actions and reactions, where potential war crimes could be committed by both parties involved. The International Criminal Court continues its investigation into these allegations, striving to bring justice to those affected. As we can see, the situation is complex, with potential war crimes on both sides and an ongoing investigation by the ICC.